to the Relentless CEO Podcast.
Relentless!
With Adam Kifer. Follow your path to success alongside icons and industry leaders in martial arts, fitness, and more. Let's go. This is the Relentless CEO Podcast.
All right, what's up, Relentless CEO crew? I'm here with my man, Cowboy Ryan.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
I was waiting for that. Yes. So good to have you in town, brother.
Oh, you know what? It's a good thing I missed my plane. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I think God wanted you on this podcast, so he's like, screw that plane.
Yeah, forget it. Let that plane go back to that freezing weather in Montana. And I get to hang out in warm weather, and I'm still in my T-shirt. So
yes,
it's a win-win for me, bud.
And Montana's cold right now?
Oh, it was 22 below. So to be in T-shirt weather here, I'm like, you know what? I think I'll miss my next plane.
Yeah. He'll be on the podcast next week also. It'll be awesome. So tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, because I know a lot of people know you from Shark Tank.
Yep.
And you struck a deal with my favorite shark, Damon John.
Yep.
And what's been going on since then? What have you been up to? And I know you got some exciting new stuff coming up too.
I do. So season 4, episode 19, I was on Shark Tank, and it's been a life-changing, game changer for me.
Sure.
Because when I applied for the show, they literally told me, they said, well, just so you know, Cowboy, there 40,000 other people applied.
Whoa.
And we got to narrow it to 90. And they said, so you better do something pretty impressive. And man, every week I did something impressive. It was a 6-month interview process.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, every week they did a Zoom with me, and they talked about whatever, and would ask me this question and that question, and they literally said, if we're not impressed at the end of each week, we're just not calling you. And so each week I was like, all right, I got to do something, and I knew, just being me, which I'm just a naturally just juiced, energized guy. So they really fell in love with that aspect, because, they're trying to make a TV show. That's what people don't understand that go on the show. They think ABC cares about your business. They don't. Yeah. They're making a TV show. They want entertainment. So each week I'd tell them something. Adam, each week I would be like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. What about this idea? What if I ride a bull into the tank? And they're like, what? You would do that? I'm like, well, yeah. So then the next week I do.
They're like, insurance won't cover that.
Yeah. So the next week I was like, I know they're going to call me this week.
2 bulls. Yeah. In the splits.
Yeah, right?
1 foot on each.
Oh, so I had some fun with them. So then the next week, they come back, Cowboy, sorry, you can't ride a bull in there. I'm like, oh, dang it, darn. And then I'm like, I got a great idea. What if I bring a mechanical bull into the tank and we put Mr. Wonderful on it and make him ride it? They're like, you would do that? I'm like, yeah. Then they call me back. Sorry, Cowboy, we can't do that. So I knew I had them hooked, and I think that's a secret on anything, especially in business, is how are you going to stand out among everybody else?
Sure. I'm on 40,000 even.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let me just keep going with this, but just really be me, because they did ask. They're like, are you getting on TV just to be on TV? And I'm like, no, why would I do all this to just be on TV? Because there's been a lot of people that they just want to get.
They just want the sales from being on the show.
Yes. And I was like, and they were like, what? Okay, then what do you want to get out of this? And I said, I built my personal training business just off of grassroots and literally getting people what they want in fitness. They want results. That's what they want. And in my hometown, I was delivering the most sick results you could ever imagine. And that's what I took on Shark Tank. It was a workout program called Lose 12 Inches in 12 Workouts. And people are like, what? There's no way. And I'm like, yeah, I've done this. I've trained more hours than probably any trainer on planet Earth in the last 20 years. And so once I'd come up with that concept, then I just did that locally, and people would just come blowing in the doors, wow, drag their friends in, be like, I lost 12 inches, I lost 15 inches, but we would measure everybody, their full body. And then we just did just something different, but not different. People knew about it, but they didn't understand it. It was the heart rate training. You put a heart rate monitor on you, and then we calculate what your specific fat burn zone is. That is the most important thing on a workout. See, most people think when to work out, you just go, you go hard, you get lightheaded, you get a little oozy in the stomach, and I'm going to get the most amount of results. And it's not. It's literally, Adam, it's all about working out efficient and getting your body to lower the toxin levels to where now your body will say, let's release some of this body fat. When your toxin levels are too high, your body actually holds on and will store more body fat to protect you internally. And so when you see these, commercials for buy cortisol pills, it works because it lowers the toxin levels, but it's a quick fix. So that's what I started doing almost 20 years ago, was built my program around the hook.
It's a good offer.
Yeah,
it's a good offer.
It is a good offer. And in fact, I've had people come in and say, here's my money. You're full of shit. I'm not going to lose 12 inches because I've tried everything. And I'm like, I like you. I like the challenge. And I was just telling your staff here a little bit ago, I said in 20 years, I've never not had one person lose 12 inches.
Now, when you're measuring 12 inches, is that like cumulative?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neck, shoulders, chest, waist, hip,
That's
thighs.
awesome, though.
It is, because that's the other thing. What people only measure their results on what does the scale say, okay? And that's where they get very discouraged after that first few weeks, or maybe they make it a month and they're like, damn it. In fact, the scale is going up. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you're starting to build some lean muscle, and muscle weighs 3 times more than body fat. And that's when I really come up with that concept and said, well, wait a minute. These people are actually, the scale is going to be deceiving because they're going to be building this lean muscle. So the scale is going to want to start going up, but they're going to be shrinking down that body fat. So I need a way to be able to show them, no, Mrs. Jones, keep going, because this is really working.
Yeah.
And so after stumbling onto it, then we just ran with it. And that's actually why I got to a point at my one local gym. I just felt like the Wizard of Oz, the guy behind the curtain, that I could make magic happen with getting people what they wanted. But I'm like, I'm one location. I'm only helping a few hundred people. How do I really help the masses of people? Because I've spent 20 years discovering a real practical way. This is not a magical pill, but if you do it, this formula that I have, it is magical, because I've had over 40,000 people lose 12 inches in 12 workouts.
Wow.
Since going on Shark Tank, and then all of a sudden thousands and thousands of people bought my program, and I'm like, see, so it's been a long journey, but on the other hand, it's been very eye-opening to go, you know what? The reason people that struggle with getting in shape is because they've tried all the tricks and they've tried all the gimmicks, or they've gone to a big box gym and they get shoved in an office and 2 salesmen are just beating them over the head to get them to join.
And they don't care if you come back ever.
No, they don't. Yeah. In fact, the big gyms that I used to work for, they way oversell their membership that they can handle. And at first, when I was working at a Gold's Gym, I'm like, wait, you have 8,000 members? And I'm like, there's like 80 people here. And they're like, yeah, we know, because the statistics tell us 90% of the people after
they price
they
it
join,
just right. People don't pay attention to the monthly payment.
No, they sure don't. So it's been a long journey. It's been a very, very hard journey as well. But I'm back. Like I've gotten bucked off many times along this journey, but I'm ready to be back and make it happen. I think one of the neatest things that happened to me is finally when I went into the Shark Tank and did my pitch. That's when I realized that people are buying me. And, and it came down to no one was going to invest. And finally, just Damon John, my investor, and now incredibly close friend of mine of the last 10 years. We text each other every week. He'll call me on Christmas, you name it. That's when I realized that when people are looking to invest or buy what you have, you better put your time in, and you better know everything about it, and because they're buying you. And that's what I learned on the Shark Tank show. They're literally buying you. And so after I got to meet Damon after he invested or the show, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, man, I didn't realize how short he was compared to me. When I got to meet him, I was just so excited. Okay, Damon, we're gonna do this with the Lose 12 Inches and do that, and maybe we'll open some gyms. And he's a really soft-spoken, just kind of a opposite of me. Okay, yeah. Okay, he's just very cowboy. Let's just slow it down.
That's what you want in a business partner, though. You want someone that like their personality complements yours, their skill set complements yours, and
absolutely
opposites do that.
Absolutely. Well, and that's what the producers, one of the questions they were asking me of going on the show. Why do you want to go on the show? And I'm like, I just need someone that's in the business world that is tremendously successful and can take a look at this raw cowboy, this raw workout, lose 12 inches, and be able to go, you know what you need to do with this? This is what you need to do with it. And use their strategic mind and be able to make that happen. So I'm not just there back home in the cow patty field training a few women. But it was so funny because Damon goes, okay, cowboy. First thing is, he goes, I don't know how I can help you because I don't know anything about fitness. And I'm like, what?
Now you tell me.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And in my head, I'm thinking, you are the worst business owner ever. Okay. And then he kind of chuckles and I'm like, well, I'm glad you think this is funny, but I just went through 6 months of hell and interviews and tell him I'd ride a bull and all this to get here. And now you tell me you can't help me. And he goes, you know what? I'm going to teach you a lot about business. I said, well, I'm listening. And he goes, you know what, cowboy? He goes, I don't have to know anything about fitness. He goes, all I got to do is find someone that knows about fitness. Yep. And we'll make a partnership and go in it together. And he goes, and he could tell that I was still like, what? Like, I thought you had all the answers.
Sure.
And then he goes, you know what? But he goes, this is how I do business. Because years ago, I used to do business deals because the money was there. And I didn't necessarily like really mesh with that person. He goes, so it was about the money. And he goes, after a while, I realized, no, this kind of sucks because you get into business with someone. And he goes, I restructure how I do things. And I go into business with people that I want to be friends with, people I want to hang out with. So now when I go to work, I'm going to hang out with my friends and I'm making money. And I'm like, hey, maybe he does something. Maybe this guy from Queens, New York knows a little bit more about business than I'm thinking he does. But then here's the best part, Adam. He goes, oh yeah, and by the way, cowboy, he said, we're going to become friends first, get to know each other. And I was like, so why did you invest in me? And he goes, you just look like a fun guy to hang out with. And he was like, I can't wait till like some of my buddies like Pitbull can come down and hang out with you.
I would pay to be in a room with you and Pitbull. That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be?
Yes.
So
no,
it was funny. So anyways, he goes, yeah, we'll become friends first and we'll figure out something what to do. And he goes, oh yeah, cowboy, by the way, don't worry about it. All my friends are millionaires. And I'm like, Damon, let's become friends.
I love that. Now, when you were on the show, you were mostly pitching like the at-home workout, right? But then you partnered with Damon. How did it go from that to thinking more of like a franchise model, like going that route?
Yeah. So what happened is after being on the show, I had just a simple little website. And I just had this DVD on there that was teaching people how to do the heart rate training and how to, that's what I pitched was lose 12 inches with any 12 workouts It's this computer software. You can calculate what your heart rate training zone is. And then whatever workout you're doing, you go do it. But now you're going to be losing those 12 inches.
Cool.
So that's what I originally pitched. What I didn't think would happen was thousands of people got a hold of me going, Cowboy, I want your Cowboy workout. Okay, I'll buy your little heart rate strap system, but I want your workout. And I'm like, but I don't have a workout. I just have a gym. And then after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails, I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe I should think about this. If there's the demand, then So I went to my gym. I grabbed one of my trainers and I said, we're making a workout DVD. I said, turn the camera on. And when I give the final woohoo, turn it off. I did a bunch of videoed workouts and they were raw. I would love to go back and find some of them.
Yes.
We burned them on DVDs. And within 3 days, we did like 80 grand in
amazing.
DVD. I was mind blown. I literally back then in 2013, I didn't know you could make money online. So what ended up happening, Adam, was I was like, yes, that's what I'm going to do. But I knew nothing about internet marketing. That's why I'm hanging out with you.
We got you.
That's why I love you, Adam. So what ended up happening is the sales kind of kept dropping and dropping and dropping. But that's where I wanted to go. I wanted to get away from the gym model and me being the trainer. And then I did that about a year and it finally just got to where I'm like, you know what? I got to go back and open my gyms again. So I did. And I went back to Damon and he said, where are we, Cowboy? It's so funny. We've known each other 10 years. I don't think he knows my first name. It's just Cowboy. So he said, okay, Cowboy, what do you want to do? And I said, you know what? Here's my dream. Since I've started my gyms back in 2000, I said, I want just a small little retail space that's a storefront. I was always these warehouses. And when people come to my place, they're like, where the hell am I? And then they would hear woo-hoo. They're like, oh, I'm afraid to go through the door. So I just said, look, this is what I want to do. And Damon goes, okay, Cowboy, if you can create a really, really just simple blueprint model, we could franchise it. And he said, if you could get around 1,200 square foot facility, so little overhead, okay?
Yeah.
It's easy to build out. He said, man, and it could go in strip malls or next to grocery stores. And you don't have to have any reconstruction. You just go in. Okay, great. We'll rent it, paint the walls, and away we go. So I did. I said, okay, I created it. And then I come up with just this Cowboys gym workout. And I thought of my days as a rodeo rider. You know, when the bull's chasing you at him, you know, I've seen you in the arena. Okay, you've spent some time in the rodeo arena. No, just
not with the bull, though. my arena is different. Yours is scarier, in my opinion.
So when the bull's chasing you, you climb over these fences. So I was like, what if I just designed a workout with one of these little 4-foot fences? It has 6 bars on it, and it can be a full body workout, body weight workout. So I opened the gym again, and we had the typical equipment in there. And I bought one of these fences at the local ranch supply store, and I bolted it to the floor, and I just made it a station. So every minute the buzzer would go off and the ladies would rotate to the next station. And so I said, this is a new station. This is what you do on it, ladies. You hold the top bar and then you stand on it, and then you're going to do just a squat, go down to a 90 degree. But what it does, it makes the perfect squat. And ladies, it puts all the emphasis on your butt. And so we ran one day like that. And when the class was over, I rounded up the 100 women I had and said, hey, what'd you think of it? And they're like, I hated it. I'm like, oh, what? No, I didn't like it. Oh, what? Oh, it was hard. Oh, what? And I was like, But then I was like, wait, what did you hate about it? This one girl was like, my butt. I felt you right in my butt. It hurts. I'm like, so you love it. You hate it, but you love it. And then Adam, so then I took now this is the coolest part. what I went through to get on Shark Tank, and then all of a sudden meet with Damon, and then all of a sudden, like all the hoops that I had to jump through to be able to now become really good friends with him and have that relationship that on a Friday at 10:30 at night, I can text him. I mean, come on, who can text Damon John 10:30 at night? He'll respond back.
I got a restraining order when I do that.
Yeah. I got a few other people I've tried to text, females, and they don't respond. I don't know why, but whatever. Ladies, I'm out there texting you, so pay attention. Typically the blonde-haired, blue-eyed ones.
That's why you like Scottsdale so much.
That's why that's why I missed my plane. I'm like, I could go back to Montana where the women are wearing coveralls and it's 22 below, or I could hang out here. So I just texted him an 8-second video of someone just on this little fence squatting it and sent it to him and said, hey, what do you think about this for the franchise? And he goes, that's it.
Yeah.
Build it around there. So then what we did is that weekend, we took all this big equipment out of the warehouse space that I had rented. We brought in about 25 different little fences, bolted them to the ground. And Adam, once we put all these fences in, I looked around my gym and I'm like, why is this place so big? What was I thinking? Like it would become huge, a 1,800 square foot place all of a sudden becomes huge when you don't need very much space. So literally, Damon, he said, all right, what do you need to build this thing out? Do you need 10 grand to get started? I'm like, 10 grand? I'm a rodeo cowboy. I could live on black coffee. And then if I'm lucky, I'll have some beans. Okay. But if not, I can just live on the black coffee. I said, I can do it for 5. He goes, 5? I go, yeah.
So cheap.
And he goes, you know what? If you need a little extra, fine, I'll help you. But start with 5. So we rented a retail space for right at 5 grand, full turnkey. I mean, everything. We opened the doors. We did some internet marketing that I didn't know what I was doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing. But all of a sudden, within 2 months, we had opened a second location off the profits from the first one. We have 300 members. And we're rocking. Damon got us back on ABC Shark Tank as an update.
Oh, cool.
And then it got to where all of a sudden I started, Entrepreneur Magazine came to us and said, we want to do a featured story in you. And I'm like, how did you find out about us? I don't know. I guess you yell really woo-hoo loud and we heard it in our office. So we started down this journey of franchising. And I got to about 50 people that had called me saying, I'm sitting at dinner right now. I'm ready to write a check. How much for your franchise? And I'm like, I don't, let me get back to you. So, and I never call Damon. I don't. I'll always text him. But if I call him, it doesn't matter what he's doing. He knows, this is important because Cowboy never calls me. So I called him on a Friday night late and he was like, hey, what's up, Cowboy? I said, what are you doing? Oh, hanging out with Pitbull and Derek Jeter. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll be right over to hang out. Oh, wait, you're in New York and I'm in Montana. I won't be over there. I said, we're at guy 50 that wants to buy a franchise. What do we do? And then what he said, I was like, oh, here we go again. He goes, Cowboy, I don't know anything about franchising. I'm like, wait, you're the worst business partner ever. You don't know anything about franchising. You told me to franchise this thing. And then he chuckles. Then he goes, but I don't need to know anything about franchising.
I got a guy for that.
Find somebody franchising. So he did. He found a guy. And you know what? It's been 7 years. This guy changed a bunch of things and just didn't make it happen. And then the COVID hit. So Adam, here's where we're at now. Damon got a hold of me about 2 weeks ago, messaged me and said, Cowboy, what do you want to do? This franchise thing with this other guy, and he changed it. It wasn't even going to be a cowboy gym. He said, what do you want to do? And I said, let's get back in the rodeo arena again. Let's make this thing happen. So I had breakfast with him a couple days ago. He gave me the thumbs up. Nice. And I said, Damon, I said, great. I said, there's one key piece to this. I've got to hunt down this guy named Adam, and he worked at this franchise gym, and he was magic fingers. What he was doing for these gyms was just, it was unheard of. It was unseen. I'm like, you're selling gym passes and getting 400 or 500 passes before you even opened a location?
I'm going to have you come and do my intro for all my speaking gigs.
I'm there. Count me in. And and that's when I met Adam 7 years ago. And when I got to see your team and your staff and what you guys were doing, and you guys there was no guessing. Like, you guys had everything analytically. And if all of a sudden one picture or one ad wasn't performing right, you dropped it and you just kept going. But then that one screen you guys had up, and I still remember it was like we had to go up these secret stairs.
Upstairs.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was a secret room. Not very many people got to go up, and you guys had this TV on the wall, or it was a projection on the wall, and it was all these gyms in all these different cities, and it was the amount of passes that was being sold at these gyms, right? So you still have that, right? That system?
Well, yeah, we have a better system.
Oh, that's what I was hoping. Okay, woo. So you are
we've upgraded.
Okay, well, I'm just
that was like 7 years ago. That was old technology.
That's what I was hoping. So what you're saying, you are the Adam I met 7 years ago. So there's a chance that we can do this with the Cowboy.
It was so funny though, because you had reached out to Kelly.
Yep.
And Kelly, I don't think you knew that Kelly and I worked together when you reached out. She's sitting across the table from me in our conference room. And she's like, Cowboy Ryan just reached out to me. I was like, oh, I love that dude. I'm like, I haven't seen him forever. And then she's like, he just asked me if I have your contact info. And I was like, tell him you're sitting right across the table from me. Which is crazy how that just worked out organically like that.
Well, it does, and that's the thing. When Damon gave me the green light, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this happen as fast as I possibly can. And I was trying to think back 7 years ago when I was at that headquarters of you guys. I was like, who did I meet there? Who do I know? Whatever. And I was like, wait a minute. And this was hard for me to do, but I'm like, wait a minute. There was this smoking hot girl. Oh my God. Her nickname was Killer Kelly. And I'm like, yes, this is a great excuse to text her and ask. Maybe it goes nowhere, but
I can't wait for Kelly to see this.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I just, anyways. So I messaged her, but then she ghosted me. She messaged me back, and then all of a sudden ghosted me. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't find this Adam guy. And they went nowhere with Kelly. So, okay, I'm done. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she messaged me back. And I'm like, wait, she didn't ghost me. Okay? I just didn't wait long enough. You know, there's some rules on ghosting. You think ghosting, like 2 minutes after they don't respond, they've ghosted you. Well, you know what? Yeah, it was so funny. All of a sudden, she's like, yeah, she messaged me back and she goes, I'm the COO at his new facility. And I'm like, Adam's been found. The magician of marketing has been found. So, and then we had dinner the other night. And, oh man,
that was so fun.
It was fun. And after just kind of really getting to hang out with you that night and just talking and seeing that you're doing incredibly well for yourself, because where you were before, that guy burned that thing to the ground. So felt bad for you guys, but I was like, that guy missed out on, oh my gosh, the magic that you're able to do. And now I got to take the new tour of your thing, that you're in charge of it. And I have no doubt anybody that comes and works with you it's a new game for him.
You know what's funny is when you and I went out to dinner, I went home after that, and my thing I do every night to unwind is I go in the backyard and journal. That's just like my thing. And it also just gets me like brainstorm about different things. I journaled so many ideas to market your brand in your gym. Like it's probably a 7-page document at this point of just like that. I couldn't stop thinking about it.
Gosh,
and then my wife is like so cool. I'll usually go home, I'll journal for like an hour, and then I'll come back in and we'll hang out and all that stuff. She's like tapping on the glass. She's like, are you coming in at all tonight? And I was like, just so tunnel vision on just like,
wow,
all of these concepts and ideas coming in. And I think part of it was because you did such a good job just explaining your vision when we were at dinner.
Okay,
and
good.
Hearing how passionate you are about just making this a killer franchise. Like that gave me energy leaving there, where good. I got home and I cannot wait to journal, because I think like gold is going to come out tonight.
Yeah.
And
dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Wow. So I can't wait to go back and revisit those notes and be like, all right, Ryan, here we go. Like, let's be.
Well, and to me, it's people, I've been thinking to myself, just like when I went on Shark Tank, like I wasn't going there for the money. I was going there for the mentorship. And now Adam, on this journey, yeah, money's got to be a part of it, and it's got to be profitable. But I have two things that just has me so driven on this deal. Is one, I had started it 7 years ago, and it started to take off, and I had waited 15 years before that 7 years. Then I'm like, I know I can make this happen. It's like a rodeo rider. You ride for the buckle, not the money. Okay. Yes. And an old rodeo rider told me one time, he said, you got to ride from your heart. If you stop riding from your heart and the real, true, genuine, authentic, this is why I do it, then don't go, then you need to get out of the arena. Okay. And that's what I'm looking at in this whole fitness, is I'm getting back into it from my heart, going, COVID crushed this country, but what it really did is it crushed people's health. Yeah. I mean, it set them back, who knows how many years of health issues.
Remember how hard it was just to get like gym equipment during COVID? Like to get a medicine ballers. I was buying bags of sand to use to work out in my backyard, because I didn't have any like stuff in my house. So I was like a heavy bag and that type of stuff. So it's crazy.
You're right. And so it's like, you know what? I'm gonna get this back, because I know there's thousands or millions of people that I can get to lose 12 inches in 12 workouts, but that's just the beginning of the journey for them. And I know that there is staff and trainers and managers, and also franchise owners, people that they want to invest in something, going, but I want a good investment. I don't want something that's so over the top I can't afford it, but I want a future for myself as well. And I'm like, you know what? You partner with me and Damon, and Adam is the wizard behind the curtains. Yeah, it game over. And
the cool thing is, I feel like you coming back and getting ready to franchise things was like just perfect timing. In a few different ways. It's like we're at the point with this company where we've are really starting to focus on taking on like larger brands, right? And we're already working with some now. So like on that front, it's cool because we've gotten that experience in with national brands. So it's like this is going to be coming into you. It's like we've done this before. We've done it really well, and like we can kick ass for you. Yeah, and then us building out a franchise right now also for martial arts. Like we're going through a lot of the stuff that you're probably going through or getting ready to go through. So just like the connections of people that have helped me on the franchising side, because I was franchising dumb. I still consider myself franchising dumb. I'm just getting a little bit smarter.
I don't think there's a dumb in you, but that's how you feel.
Talk to my wife. There is. But like just if we got together 5 years ago and you're like, can you help me this? I could have, but not at the level that I could right now. So when I found out you're coming out here, I was like, man, what perfect timing, because I feel more confident than ever that like we're going to kick ass.
We're going to literally just crush it. And just knowing that I have such low overhead. I've done the numbers so many times. We've already built a couple of them on literally
I was blown away when you told me like how little it costs to open one of those.
Yeah.
Because you hear like Orange Theories now, like some of them are like $500,000 build outs and stuff like that. Wow. And like F45 is usually around like the 250, 300,000 mark. So that's and people are like flying like crazy to go invest in those. When you have something low overhead, you're going to be profitable faster. Yes. The return makes more sense for the business people looking at that. Like absolutely. I think you're going to have people that are like, I want 10, I want 20. At that pricing,
Well, and Damon said, he said, look, Cowboy, if I can help you in this business, he said, I want to be a part of it. But if I don't bring any value, because that's what he wants. Yep. He goes, if you just need money, I'll loan you money or whatever. But I don't want to be an actual shareholder or a part of your business. Okay. But he goes, if I can be a part of it and help, I will. And I was like, yeah, here's how you could help. Here's how we sell it. Once a year, we just do a live event. Yep. But it's a private event, and you invite all of the people you know and all the celebrities.
We know Pitbull's going to be there.
Yeah, Pitbull will be there. We'll get him on stage and have him kick it off. But I said, all these people are looking at you, and you're managing and helping manage their brands,
Yeah.
you know what? A private investor couldn't come in. Like, you've got to be invited to this deal.
Yep.
And guess what? Now all of these people that you're managing their brands, they go, wait a minute. I could be in business with Damon John and the Cowboy, of course.
Yeah.
Woo! But
and then you and I were talking about too, even some other ways that Damon could be a huge value add.
Oh,
like on the marketing.
The marketing side of it.
I think that's gonna crush it.
Oh.
I think people, when they get that, they're gonna go, oh my God. I don't want to give it away though.
Yeah, we won't,
yeah.
but it'll be a personal attention from Damon.
Yep.
Every member, they'll be like, wait, what?
It's gonna kick so much ass.
Yeah. Oh, it is. And then you think about it, it's about, you just do things different.
Yes.
And my whole life, I've always done things different. A rodeo guy, he's different, definitely, for sure. But this is, we break all the rules. We don't follow the rules. We make our own rules.
And that's the whole philosophy around marketing, is that there is no rules. Like,
right?
You just think as much outside the box as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
That's what gets the attention.
Absolutely.
That's what stops the scroll.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I saw that, Adam, what you were doing 7 years ago with that other franchise. In fact, there was a time during the day I had to pinch myself going, am I dreaming? Like, is he really able? And you had a huge staff there.
Yep.
And, I got the chance to talk to a lot of them, and they're like, every one of them, oh yeah, Adam, that guy's a magician. Wait, it's amazing what he is able to do, and just how smart he was, and all the pieces you had going on, because you took out the guesswork for a gym owner to try to open. Because, Adam, I was a part of a Gold's Gym. I was a trainer. That's where I started. But I got to be a part of their a startup.
Sure.
Okay. It was someone bought a franchise and they opened it right there in Loveland, Colorado. So I got to see the whole build out and everything, but I got to be a part of the pre-opening and see everything that it took. Millions of dollars just to build the facility out. And then I think it was $1 million in just a franchise fee. And then the mind-blowing thing was the grueling marketing they had to do back then, the lead boxes, and then set up the meetings, and then appointments and the tours. And it was so much work.
Yeah.
And now what I've seen and what you're doing and able to do is, no, let's stop the silliness. Let's stop doing it the old school way. Let's have people chomping at the bit for when the door opens, because they've already bought a trial, or like, I don't know. And I'm still waiting to see, because some of the things that you do, you'll drop a seed on me, and I'm like, what's he talking about? But then you don't fully explain, and then you just leave me like. Because you said
that's the magician part.
We don't reveal that. David Copperfield, Adam Copperfield. That's what. But you had said something about, no, we'll also get them to just buy a membership.
Yes, that's the goal. We want you, like, keep talking. Let's say your profitability is like 20 grand is what you need to be profitable, for example. And let's say, just to make math easy, that's 200 members for you. Yeah. Then our goal in pre-marketing is 200 members. Fully paid day one.
Oh, come on now.
Like, we want you to be able to open where you're, like, the average franchisee isn't having to worry about how they're going to pay the bills. They're
For real?
Yes, like, we want you to be.
So you're saying, because I'm just going on what we were gonna do and what I saw this other guy doing, selling $10 pass
for pre-opening.
Okay. Yeah,
no,
pre-opening sells a bunch.
Half those people, it's not enough skin in the game for them to take it seriously for that, because they might be waiting 3 months before the gym opens with contractor delays and all that stuff. So you have to keep them engaged during that 3 months. But if they've put some money down and gotten something in return, and knowing that they're going to be getting a lifetime discount when, like, on day one, and that no one's ever going to get better pricing than them. Right. Like, everyone wants new, shiny, and the best deal. Yep. And you're giving them all of that with the pre-opening special. So, and I think digital, direct mail, all of that stuff combined is great. And then if you actually get an owner too that is like, I do want to be boots on the ground. I do want to go and make relationships with the local business owners,
right.
And offer their family like a free week or a free month or something just to get them into the gym. And you have someone flying cars and doing all that old school stuff, along with the new school. Like your brand awareness when you open is ridiculous. Like that. Our goal is we want not only to get you guys profitable on month 1, but we want people just being like, I see your guys' stuff everywhere I go. Like everywhere I go.
Damn Cowboys abs are everywhere.
Yes.
So again, to me, it's mind blowing, but it is so exciting to be like, wait, Adam's saying that first month we could have real members, not just trial tire kickers, and they come in twice and leave, like members.
Sign up on a full membership.
Full membership, because you know what that means? It means what Damon told me to not do. He said, don't take 100 years to build this. I'm like, okay, Damon, open the checkbook, because each week I want to open a new gym.
It's crazy because, the fitness industry is so far ahead of like every other industry in doing this. Like, obviously, I spent a lot of time in the martial arts industry as well, and pre-opening wasn't a thing in martial arts. It was just like, let's open, and then let's teach martial arts and just hope that they come. And that's been the status quo in the martial arts industry forever. So we were like one of the first people to start doing pre-opening in the martial arts industry.
Wow.
And like the first one we did, the guy opened with 117 like full members. And that like until then it took people like a few years to get to that number, if they even did. And this guy is still one of our clients today. He was just like, I think we're doing pretty good. He's like, we're going to be profitable on the first day we open. He's like, I never even thought that was possible. And he also worked his ass off and did a lot of like the things that we told him to. But for me, that was like proof of concept. It's like, oh, you can do this for anything. You can do this type of marketing for anything. And that was our first one in the martial arts industry. And we've refined it so much since then I think we'll probably break records for the schools that we work with this year on the martial arts side that are opening new locations. I'm hoping we set some records for you as well. I want to get your franchisees competitive, where they're like, all right, Cowboys Gym just opened with 250. We got to get 275 when we open. And it'll be cool to start seeing that, because we already see what some of the other franchises we work with, where we'll get like a new record of pre-enrollments for them. And then they're like, now everyone's gunning for me. He's like, so when we open the next one, we get at least 200 more than we got this time. I'm like, you guys are stressing me the fuck out, man. We'll make it happen. But
you know what we could do? It's like the All-Star Wrestling. We could have a big rodeo belt buckle. Okay. And like, here's the gun and whoever gets the most, you get to have that buckle in your place. But then someone beats you, then the buckle's taken away, and
that incentivizes an open multiple locations too.
Because
they're like, I just lost my buckle. Hold on a second, motherfucker. We're gonna open another one.
There it is, the magician at work. You know what? He's just like Siri. I just feed him a little information, and all of a
I'm powered by ChatGPT.
AI. Sorry, maybe not Siri. You're way better, Siri. Are you a robot? Is there wires in the back of your head? AI. I just discovered AI. I did.
It's amazing.
Oh, it is.
It's terrifying and amazing.
Oh, it is. It's the coolest thing ever. And so I can tell it some things, and the stuff it comes up with, holy criminy, it's incredible. But that's how I feel hanging out with you.
You know what's cool is we figured out how to trade AI to completely understand the ins and out of a brand.
What?
Yeah, so like for our franchise, for example, I have AI trained that knows like all of our core values. It knows our unique selling proposition. It knows our offers. It knows everything. So now if I need to document an email or something like that, it knows how we speak and all this stuff. And it just cranks it out. And we still have to make some edits and stuff, but the time it saves is ridiculous. And then the thing I love about it is it creates consistency across the brand now, because your messaging always sounds the same. It's not, you don't have that human error of, depending on how their mood is that day is how they type. This has no mood, so it just talks the same every single time.
Wow. Mind blowing.
That's crazy.
All right. So it just hit me. I just realized it. You know what AI is? You know what it stands for?
No.
Adam Intelligence. That's That's what I'm talking about.
That's the first time the word Adam and intelligence has been used in the same sentence. I just want to point that out to everyone.
Yeah.
Savor this moment.
Yeah, just soak it in. Like me, it's soaking the sun in right now. Just soak it in, Adam.
So what are some of your goals for your franchise?
Literally the first goal is to get that first one open. And my goal is if it was actually profitable, if we at least break even by day 60, and then maybe profitable.
No, fuck that.
Yeah, okay, good. I was hoping you'd say that. Is to just get that first one, because I haven't had an income. My wife, she loves to shop. She buys these used clothes and she sells them online, and she does really good.
Oh, wow.
Really good for us and our family. But it's this last 7 years I've been waiting for this franchise, Adam. I feel helpless. I feel, useless. Like I build old trucks and do mechanic work and I make money to just get by, but I'm like, I don't want to just get by. Yeah. I'm high in the mountains in this garage building these trucks, and I'm like, I am not utilizing what I'm capable of doing. Like God did not design me, and with this energy and this passion and my track record, what I've done in fitness, to not be using it.
Sure.
I feel like it's a waste. So it's getting me back in the game again. And man, my goal and what I want to do is I just want to open these things as fast as I can. I want to open as many as possible. And after the last 10 years of Damon never giving up on me, never doubting me, and just being like, Cowboy, you'll find your way, man. You'll find your way. And just this last week having breakfast with him, he goes, this is your way, but you gotta go all in. And don't take your time. Like, I'm giving you like full throttle. I'm like, okay, full throttle, here we come. But to me, it would be amazing if, let's say, so my goal in the next 12 months is that I have 4 locations open.
Love that.
And be able to go, there it is, proof of concept. This is what they're doing. We have the numbers, the track record of this is what it takes to open one, and then sit down with Damon and say, Damon, either we open 100 of them ourselves and we all corporate own them, or we go the franchise road.
Yeah.
And definitely for sure be able to just say and look back and go, wait, a year ago I was doing the podcast and I was this cowboy that rode in on his horse because he couldn't afford a car. and a year from now I'll be like, Adam, I can't believe we did it. We got 4 of these things cranking, and now we're sitting around going, all right, now what do we want to do? We're going to build a bunch of more corporate ones that we own, or are we going to go the franchise road? So that's my goal.
Love that. Well,
Is it possible?
Hell yes.
Oh, good.
Hell yeah.
We got AI.
You got to remember, like, when my friends are like, I want to open up another school, I'm like, why don't you open 3? And they're like, fuck you. So I'm always going to push for more. And I just love the impact that you're about to make with this. And,
right.
I think your energy brings such a missing element to the fitness industry right now, because I think that what a lot of the brands of the fitness industry are missing right now is personality.
They are.
Like, it's just,
they really are.
You see, like, people build a really popular franchise, and then they'll go from, once that franchise sells, then they go and they open up a different franchise, but still sort of the same feel to it.
Right.
And I haven't seen yet. I think Rumble Boxing, it might be doing the best right now, bringing a personality to like a fitness brand.
Sure.
But besides that, there's nothing similar. There's nothing else that's standing out in that way. So I think you have a very unique opportunity to be like the brand that has the personality and draw to it that people are like, I want to be around that guy.
Yeah.
I want to do what that guy's doing.
I'm glad you said that, because when I was the trainer in all of my gyms, that's what drew people. That like, it would get them indoor, it would keep them there. And when we opened the first Cowboy gym years ago, I told my staff, I said, okay, guys, I've trained you guys all. You guys are going to do the workouts. I said, I can't do one workout. If I've trained one workout session, I'm a crazy wild man and the energy's high. And then these people will never they won't
no
not
one can
want,
replicate that.
Yeah, exactly. I said I can't replicate it. So we did. We got both of them up going. They're amazing. And I was the face of it. Sometimes I'd walk in my facility and I'd hear, "Psst, that's him. That's him." And I'm like, that's what I want. But now with the Adam intelligence, your staff is just shaking their head going, man, that cowboy. Yeah, that cowboy. What a card. Is that, and now with the phone apps, and that's my vision, Adam, is that I can make tons and tons and tons of videoed content. So what I'm imagining is someone first inquires about our gym. All of a sudden we get them on the email list, and then we give them the free app, the Cowboy Energy app. To where every day they just get either it's a 15-second little video from me, just mentally just working on them and building them up, making them feel good, and giving them, indoctrinating them on when you become part of the Cowboy brand and the Cowboy family and you step in the barn, life's going to be different. Okay. And that's what I'm imagining is to where that now the guy that it was only people training with me could get that. No, everybody, every gym location, whether you got a pass or you bought something, you didn't use it, or even if you don't come anymore and you're working out somewhere else, you're still getting my daily motivation. Okay.
I love it.
That just takes you and moves you forward, because that's, I would say, more than anything, what I want to do after this COVID thing kicking our asses is I want to be branded as the guy that's the guy that changed the face of fitness, because he brought this. Remember when Billy Blanks was just, he took the world by storm? I'm like, I'm that guy. And years ago, Damon told me, he goes, you're the next Tony Horton in fitness. Okay. He knows that. He sees that. He just don't know how to get me there. Okay. But Adam Intelligence does.
No, I think that's a great idea. I love it. I think there's so many elements of you that can be incorporated into the brand. I know we were talking about like if they do like 500 classes or something like that, maybe they get like a specialized cowboy hat that they get to show off that they got the 500. Cool. Like
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think there's just like so many opportunities with your brand, I think, to just really set it apart. I think it's gonna make cowboys cool everywhere.
Yeah. Again. Well, and you know what? With the popularity of the show Yellowstone and Kevin Costner, and it's out of Montana, like it is exponentially like woke up people going, what? Oh my gosh, that is cool. And these are real cowboys. And that's filmed in my hometown.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It is cool. So it's like the wave's coming. The big wave in Hawaii, it's on its way. Probably the biggest wave we've ever seen. Are we going to be riding that wave, or are we going to get sunk and drowned? And I'm like, no, let's gear up and let's ride that thing, and let's put our name in the Hall of Fitness Fame, we'll call it, and be like, remember when stuff changed? And now, so imagine this. Now, if all of a sudden, and it'll happen, if what works, people start duplicating it. Now, all of a sudden, people go, wait a minute, I'm gonna have these videoed emails sent to them, welcoming people and just giving them that feel of what they can expect even before they get in the door. Because I know in the years as training, women always say the hardest thing I had to do was get out of the car when I was sitting in the parking lot. I didn't know what to expect. I felt intimidated. And it's like, you know what? Let's break down all those walls. Let's let you feel and see and almost taste what it's like on this membership, right? You say you can sell these memberships before they come in. I was just checking. Because I don't believe it. That's the problem. But
everyone says that.
I don't have to believe it
until we do it. And
then
like,
I know.
This dude.
Okay. To where all of a sudden they're just like, oh, I know, I'm ready to go. This feels good. I've been getting them daily little motivation emails from Cowboy and building me up, and maybe it's 2 weeks before they get in, and maybe they buy a membership and they don't get in there for a little while. but that's okay. By the time they're ready, they feel like they're part of the family already.
Agreed.
Not, I'm intimidated and I just can't, I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's weird. I think people think that even like the best athletes just wake up and they're like, fuck yeah, let's go work out.
Right.
And it's funny. That's why one of my favorite David Goggins videos is him talking about how he has to get up in the morning and stare at his shoes and argue with himself for 30 minutes sometimes before he actually puts them on. And I'm like, that's real life. So I think the more in the messaging we can get that through to people, be like, hey, it's okay not to feel like going to the gym. Like that's normal.
Absolutely.
But like, here's what we do to get rid of that negative self-talk to actually push us forward and get our foot in the door.
Well, and that's where it goes right along with how our gym is designed is, Adam, we have no class time.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
Yeah.
You can just come in whenever.
Yeah, there's no class time. It's a continued workout with a trainer. He's instructing you through. So when you show up, you go to your little rodeo fence. There's a timer on the wall, counts down from 20 minutes. You start the timer, and then every minute it's a new exercise he demos, and you just start your workout. So exactly what you're saying is that if there's times that these people don't feel like going to the gym, well, you know what? Go do 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If you get 10 minutes in, now mentally you start building yourself up. You start building that foundation going, I didn't want to go. I felt like crap, but I went and did 10 minutes and you don't feel like, well, I've failed because there's no class time. So when you show up and you get the 10 minutes, but you won't do just 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Once you get that first 10 minutes in and then you get the energy and you look around and everybody else is doing it, then you're like, I got this. And by the time you roll out, okay, you're like, I'm so glad I didn't miss that workout.
And it's awesome because it's 28 minutes, right?
It's 28 minutes. And then it sets the rest of your day. And then all of a sudden what ends up happening is these people that struggled mentally to go to the gym, I'm going there by myself, or I got to go to a class time and I'm going so hard that I'm not getting results. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, we take care of. See, you're the magician to get them in the door. I'm the magician once you get them to the show.
Hell yeah!
You're the magician that sells the tickets.
We need more than one magician anyway. So that's what we need. I love that. Man, it's been so awesome just to hang out with you again and to have you here. I appreciate you joining us for the podcast and just sharing what you're working on. And
thank you.
When do you plan on having the first location open?
Today.
Yeah.
No, probably in the next couple months.
Okay, awesome.
Give us a little bit of time to take what we have and away we go. And I think once we start on the first one, then we go, all right, let's keep going. But super excited to be back, but also really appreciate you having me here because
absolutely.
What I've learned is when I can share my journey and think about it, but it then reminds me of the things that I've done, but it also reminds me, oh, I forgot about this piece and that piece. But really more than anything, Adam, what this has done for me, it's helped get that momentum going. Okay. Because the other night after we had dinner, I mean, the momentum was going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how do I keep this going? You're like, my staff will reach out to you. And then after I missed my plan, I'm like, forget having a staff reach out to me. I'm going to go see his staff.
Yeah.
So
it was great. And obviously, feel free to text me whenever you have ideas or like, hey, what about this? Like, I love that shit. I love brainstorming new concepts, new plans, new systems, all that stuff. So I'm all into kick ass with you, brother.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see where we're at a year from now. We'll do this again.
Oh, yeah.
And just remember,
it'll be like the Shark Tank
AI,
update.
Adam Intelligence.
Thanks, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Cowboy Ryan.
And I'm going to finish with a big old woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. Get you some of that.
We're unstoppable, to the top, we about to go. That CEO, I need to know the impact we about to grow. Competition comical, straight A1, we on the road. Money focus for the goal, tell them what they need to know. We unstoppable.